to Minute Ramen by School of Design here at UPES, where conversations are spicy, flavorsome, and rich. I'm your host, Nana Pandey, an industrial design student here at UPES. Today, we are joined by one of the best industry expert in banking, Mr. Narendra Ghate. He's not just improving the interfaces, but reimagining how millions of users interact with screen and experience. A warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's such a great place, such a pleasure to come here, meet all of you. It's fantastic.
So, Mr. Ghate, before moving forward, in every podcast, we do this ramen ritual where in front of you got 3 bowls. Each bowl represents different flavors of ramen: red, spicy, yellow, flavorsome, and green, rich. I request you, please pick a bowl, so set a mood for the rest of our conversation.
What a good idea.
Yes.
I'll pick the one closest to you. Yes. So.
I'll read it for you. Oh, wow, rich.
Rich.
So, how do you define trust in the world where everything in the banking sector is completely digital?
It's a great question and it's a very important question. And see, unfortunately, ours is not the only screen that a customer sees. So, the customer is seeing various digital screens, inputs, right? Which means their trust on our screens can be affected by their lack of trust on other screens. So, which means we have to create something that will allow our screens or our digital experience to be anchored to our brand, to our promises of trust. So, one advantage that we have, that we can be a very phygital or very physical plus digital kind of a offering. So, we'll have all these branches, we'll have people that you actually meet, that you will talk. So, there is this physical element to what let's say the HDFC Bank is, allowing that trust that is actually felt when you meet, let's say, a relationship manager, translate into what one feels when they look at screens that we have created. Separately, to make sure that our screens are secure and all the information is confidential. So, we have created a design system, a HDFC language of design. So, which means across any touch point, they have this familiarity of कि हाँ ये तो HDFC ऐसा ही दिखता है या फिर this is the flow. So, or this is the kind of colors and fonts and animations that it will be, which is not very flashy, it is not very fun, it is like very serious, आपका पैसा है, very careful. So, then this is the second way in which we try and bring in some trust in the digital part. The third aspect is to really create transparency, because part of what we are doing and part of what our customers really want is education, is awareness. कि क्या होता है FD, when I do an FD, what happens, why should I do an FD, what will actually happen, if I break an FD, what will happen, should I invest. So to try and bring that transparency, to bring that clarity कि देखो अगर आप क्रेडिट कार्ड के पैसे कम दोगे तो आपका ये इतना एक्स्ट्रा फीस. So to try and sort of create this level of transparency, which again creates trust. So there are these various ways in which we are making sure that there is a journey where the trust is created and has to be maintained. So that is something that we are consciously doing. So you may not notice it immediately, but that is something that we are doing in the background.
Throughout the time. But does it also involve educating new users?
Yes.
Users who are not familiar with the digital interfaces?
Absolutely. It is, I mean, one, the trust part of it, which is through education, but the new users also need to really not miss out on the huge benefits that the country has and they will have by participating in the financial inclusion or the journey that the country has to go through, which means telling them how to invest or telling them how to save, telling them, giving them a very good analysis कि आप कहाँ spending हो रहा है, किधर should you spend, how are you spending, is there a trend in your multiple months of billing, what is the expected dates by which you have to pay a certain bill. So we try and create this clarity so that customers feel comfortable and are also educated through that process. Apart from that, of course, we create a lot of these educational videos and other small kits and bytes to really make people aware in case of, let's see if you want to use the word education. Yes.
It's really insightful from an industry expert. So moving on to my next question, for designers especially, how much it's important for a designer to understand technology, behavior, and how a user react and how we can empathize to a user. Especially in the form of when we say something very, very important and very sacred for a user because it's a banking sector. We need to make sure that our user is feeling safe with us, their money is safe with us. How we can.
So empathy, or let's say the users or our designers really understanding users deeply is fundamental, because without that you cannot, one, be confident of your design decision, nor can you defend the design decision, because we have 90 million customers. So you will always have some people who will want some other way of doing things. So then how are you able to sort of not quickly keep changing things because you got some comments on social media? How are you able to have that clarity, I know 80% of my users like it this way, the remaining 20% will learn. So how do you have that even keel to take the decision? So some of this, what you call empathy, user research, understanding how people behave deeply, understanding the range of users from new users to 60-year-olds, all of that becomes really, really vital. So, and I'll give you an example of exactly what I'm saying. So in credit cards, for example, right? So we have various things. So we were testing with people, with young people like you. So वहाँ बिल में लिखा रहता है, there's things like your payment date, your outstanding amount. So we asked young people, what do you understand of this page? Do you know what is this? So they said, yeah, we understand. So, okay, what do you understand by this outstanding amount? So yeah, outstanding amount, like you have outstanding marks, outstanding student, outstanding amount. So it was exactly opposite of what it actually means. Outstanding amount means money that you owe, and she thought outstanding amount means something like awesome thing, right? So there is this gap that we tend to miss, and through user research, through trying to talk to people, we are able to sort of know these nuanced issues that are there. So that's what we do.
Even I thought outstanding amount was that only.
Okay.
so then I asked my friend, what is an outstanding amount? And it's outstanding means you have to pay the entire amount, okay?
Correct.
So yeah, that is one insight again. So moving on to the next question. What is the one major shift HDFC Bank is doing from function to stability and experience also? Firstly, of course they focus on the function, for services they are providing, and how is it's shifting from function to experience, a user experience?
See, one of our mottos is to really make banking easy, comfortable, safe, easy to understand, create that confidence, create that trust, like you said in the first. So that is the shift. Many people, for example, we realize that they will save their money in one bank account, but have credit cards from some other bank account. They'll have, let's say, home loan from somewhere else. So we feel that if we create this benefit of trust that we are creating in one of their primary accounts, which is with us, then they would also want to have all other financial relationships with us. So that is one of the shift that is slowly happening, because I feel it will benefit the customers greatly by having a much more uniform way of working, clarity of the things that are happening, and a lot of flexibility that happens when everything is based on the relationship that you have. So that is one example. Second example is, of course, with all this technology that is happening, a lot of our services, we are trying to encourage our people or customers to use digitally, right? So you don't have to actually go to a branch when you can easily do things on your phone. So we are trying to sort of make it easy for them. Many times they are not aware, and hence they don't, they think, yeah, let's have to go to the branch, and then they have to sort of take a holiday or things like that. But we are trying to make sure that 80, 90, almost 99% of things can happen from their living room. They don't have to go to the branch. So this will allow the branches to be places where they can actually have deeper experiences, have better advisory, have better relationship. So we are sort of trying to create that shift in terms of how the relationship works between our customers and the bank.
That's very insightful, sir. Again.
Thank you.
And yesterday you have mentioned one day when women start investing.
All, not women. It's investing.
Like, in general, let us say there are 99% of women who do invest in stock markets and everywhere, but there are 1% of women. Okay. We know that the number is
fine. There's definitely a set of people. So you're saying maybe there are more women who are less financially active than
Yes,
me.
yes,
Agreed.
of course. Especially those who are in banking sectors, they are more inclined towards these things. But those who are not, those are especially housewives. They are not. But the moment we all are started doing it, will not grow as a person, but as a nation.
Correct.
So, any comments on that too?
Yeah, that's, I think next 10 years for India is very important, especially on the banking and financial sector. And money, when it is used by the industry to sort of create new investments, create new jobs, is what will grow the nation. So money has to be in circulation, which means people should, banks become a conduit for your money that is, let's say, kept in a, let's say it's not working. I mean, I don't want to say cash under the bed kind of thing, but imagine it is just kept in your savings account, you don't really think about it. Now, if that money is allowed for banks, because bank becomes a conduit for it to invest in industry, invest in young people who want to start a new business. So many startups are going to come out of UPS, right? So all of that would happen through this banking route, because that's the most safest and the most legal way to really participate in the industry. Now, this becomes one of the reasons why, because it's beneficial for all. The customer actually will get a lot of bigger returns. The compounding thing that we talk about will happen. Industries will benefit, banks will benefit, India will become stronger. So it is important that people participate. And currently the hurdles of participation is awareness, trust, which is what we're trying to improve through design.
So that design is doing everything.
Everything. We become the grease that removes the friction between what has to be done for things to start moving.
With its trust, stability, and the experience. So, sir, moving on to the my favorite round for this podcast, that is the rapid fire round.
Okay.
So, are you ready, sir?
I am ready. It's just that I might find answers that seem weird. But
No, so it's got a very simple question. So, future of banking, one word.
Invisible.
Invisible. Trust or experience?
Trust.
Okay. One skill that every designer should have?
Empathy.
Okay. One idea that shaped you?
Empathy.
One advice you'll give yourself as your younger self?
Yeah, trust the future.
Trust the future. That's very, very deep and very insightful, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your time and for everything. You have come here and guide us.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
It was a really, really nice podcast with you and very nice insights from you.
Thank you so much.
To your viewers, keep designing, keep questioning, and keep designing for an impact. See you for the next time. Toodles.